Welcome to another edition of Chef Knives to Go Quick Look Product Videos. I'm Steve Gamache, and in this episode we are looking at the Shin Saku Aogami or Blue Paper number 2 Bocho 90mm knife. And as it states, the core steel is Aogami or Blue Paper number 2 reactive carbon steel from Hitachi. Heat treat's approximate. It doesn't state on the site, but it's probably around 60, 61, maybe 62. It's done by eye typically, so it'll be approximation on that. The construction is a soft iron reactive cladding on either side of that core steel for a 3-layer sandwich. And the cladding does have a Kudauchi or blacksmith finish on top of that, and then they do have a lacquer, food-safe lacquer coating on the blade, which you could remove with acetone if you wish to do so. The weight on the blade is quite light at 1.8 ounces, or about 51 grams. The edge length is, these are all going to vary just a little bit from knife to knife since they're handmade, but this one's about 93 millimeters or 3.6 inches. Overall length, about 210 millimeters. And the spine thickness on this one, these are going to vary, but it's 3.4 millimeters. Tapers down pretty quickly after that to 2-ish, maybe 2.5, and then doesn't really taper down until you get to the very tip with the grind of the knife. These are pretty tall, as is the style of shape. 36.5 millimeters is the blade height on this particular one. And the handles, nothing fancy, but they're nicer than some of the basic plastic ferrule handles. These have a D-shaped hoe wood buffalo horn ferrule, so pretty nice handles. A little bit of a step there between the wood and the ferrule. You could easily sand that down if you wanted to. You'll probably want to put some kind of sealer on right where the tang meets the front of the handle. A little bit of a gap there, some beeswax or some other kind of sealer so moisture doesn't get in there. Here's what the cladding looks like. You've got some hand chiseled kanji, kind of muted by the finish that they've got on there, and then you've got embossed kanji. There's your core steel showing through at the edge. Again, this has a lacquer finish, which makes it kind of shiny. You do have some slight undulations with the hand hammering. I would suspect it's probably kind of a matte finish Kudauchi if you took the lacquer off. The lacquer does extend to the edge, so the out-of-the-box edge, while ground fairly reasonably, is not very sharp. So you're going to want to sharpen these right out of the box to get that lacquer off the edge and then maybe put your own edge on it. These also have the characteristic of having a blunted tip. That's what this maker does. If you wanted to have a pointy tip, I would suggest grinding down the spine of the blade towards the cutting edge. Don't try to move the cutting edge up. So if you wanted to put some work in on the spine, it would take the KU off of it, but you could make that a pointy knife if you wish to do so. The finish on it actually is pretty nice. It's not sharp anywhere on the edges, comfortable right out of the box. Again, you'll have to sharpen it. Balance point is actually kind of right around where the ferrule and handle meet. And let's take a look at it on our cutting board. These are pretty cool knives, actually. This is tall enough you could do some board work if you wanted to. And gentle, curvy profile with a fairly pointed tip. Although it's blunted, the general shape is pointy, is what I mean to point out. Haha. So there you go. So these are cool little knives. I like these. I've got 5 of them in for review, and they're all pretty cool. So interesting little option if you wanted to try something different for a small knife. This is the Shin Saku Aogami number 2 called Bocho 90mm knife.